Hey, this is Tom from Inspiration Metalworks, and today's video is going to be about the completion of the 173rd Airborne Sign that was commissioned recently. We began the drawing in a previous video, a couple weeks ago, and I just wanted to give you an update on where we are with it, and I'll show you a little bit about how we're going to move forward. So I went ahead and finished the drawing. We did a quick view the other day, a tutorial on how I go about editing drawings when I have them. And what I came up with, I ended up cutting about like this. All right, so you can see, here it is. Now a lot of these pieces are going to fall out. In fact, two of these pieces, specifically one right here and one right here, I want to fall out and keep. Most of these pieces are just going to come right out. They just fall out and they're just left over. The reason I'm doing that is this piece is going to be done in two layers, and it's going to have a backing piece, which you can see here, and I'll actually weld the two pieces on there as well, because they're going to provide, along with some of these other cutout pieces in here, it'll provide the relief as well as the difference in color. So this particular one is going to be done in a olive drab and black. So like you might have worn, in this case someone's doing it for their father, who was in the 173rd in Vietnam. And so our old uniforms had these subdued patches on there. In this case it was a two-color subdued patch. So that's what we'll be recreating with this. Now this particular sign is about 20 inches tall, and we'll put a hanger on the back as well so that it'll easily be mounted on the wall. And I make everything out of 14 gauge. This one did warp a little bit, so I'm hoping as I clean this up I can get that straightened up a little bit, because I'm going to have to join these two pieces together, which this is going to be pretty heavy. It's actually going to be a wee bit too thick. I still gotta think about this a little bit, because I mean this is over an eighth of an inch thick when it's done, and not very reasonable. And you can see how the warping in there might be difficult. I don't know how that's going to work out, to be honest. I still got to work on a couple things here, figure out how I'm going to do it. But right now, that's the plan. Like all plans, it will likely change before it's done. Alright, so let's take a look. Went ahead and got it all cleaned up. What I can see is that it's definitely a lot of warpage from when I cut the slots that really are designed to, let's go out the other way, designed to help delineate these portions where there would have been stitching going around the original patch. So I tried to, in the drawing that I originally did, I put those cuts here and here. I think probably what I should have done, I put them in the corners to help with that, but I probably should have left some spots right here to hold it together to help with some of the warpage there. But I think what I'll be able to do is just give it a little bit by hand on each side. This is very much just kind of, and I feel a little bit. And that's just about right. There's a little bit of rock to it, but not near like it was. Alright, so that'll be alright. I still need to clean up this side here. I'll do that with the wire cup, and then I'll also do it again with 120 grit sanding disc to clean it up before we start doing finish work. So it's going up pretty flat, pretty smooth. I always do my hand test. It's amazing how much you can pick up with your skin when you do this. This one's a little off. It's kind of like oil canning, where it wants to, just by the heating and cooling of the metal, it's gotten a little off. But this guy's alright. So next step is to put the hanger on the back. Alright, so one of the things that's really important as we're putting this hanger on is to make sure that we get the center correct. And so we are here at, let's get this edge in here, 13.5 inches wide. So that would be, I love this tape measure, by the way. It's a self-centering tape measure. So 13.5 tells me to go to 6 3/4. I go to 6 3/4, and we'll draw a line about there. So I know that I want the center hook to match up with that. All right. So let's got that centered up. But again, we don't want this thing moving on us while we're in the middle of things, so we'll use handy dandy little third hand here for that. And let's get our welder set up. And you're probably noticing that this is zinc coated, which means I'm going to get some crazy ass fumes too, so I basically hold my breath while I'm doing this. But thankfully the shop's wide open. It'll air out quickly, but it's something you definitely have to watch for in these coatings. Alright, that's it. Nothing to it. It takes longer to get this thing set up than it does to actually weld it. Turn everything off. Hat back on because it is still kind of cold. Alright. And clean that up. Alright, so this is really ready to go to finish. For the finish, I think what we're going to do, I think we'll start with the green. Well, maybe we'll do the black. You see, all of this should be black inside of here. I've got to decide whether I want to, which order I want to do that in. Go shaping in there. I should probably sand that smooth again real quick, just to make sure that it's nice and smooth for finish. And nothing like grit in my coffee. I don't know if you guys caught that or not. Coffee was sitting right there. But this one's pretty much ready for finish. Hey everybody, it's Tom. I just wanted to give a closing shot of the 173rd sign. In the video, up to now we were doing prep work on it. We'd done the drawing last week, we did the cutting this week, we did the prep work and got it ready for finish. And if you've been following along either on Twitter or Facebook, Google+, things like that, I did show some pictures of the finish work in progress, but here it is getting ready to get shipped out. As you can see here, let me straighten this out a little bit. I did get the border on there. We went with the OD green and black like it would have been in subdued patch. And for the backing, instead of doing another layer of metal, I actually used black felt, and I used a two-stage epoxy to
to secure it. Plus, it'll be nice. It'll keep it from rubbing on the wall when it gets hung. So I think it did a nice contrast in there, and we're ready to send it out. Thanks again for watching.